Everyday Routines in English, a one listening practice. Hello and welcome to another episode of a one English listening practice. My name is Emma, and I'm thrilled to guide you through an expanded lesson all about everyday routines. Today, we're going to explore how to talk about the things we do every single day, from waking up in the morning until going to bed at night. So get comfortable, grab a notebook if you'd like, and let's dive in. In this episode, you will hear a clear and natural monologue about my own daily routine. Learn important vocabulary and phrases that will help you describe your routine. Answer comprehension questions to test your listening skills. Get extra practice tips on how to discuss common daily activities in English. Learn about variations in routines, such as weekend routines or special occasions. Discover some basic grammar points and pronunciation tips relevant to daily routines. Practice building your own daily routine description in English. This lesson is perfect for beginners, A1 level, who want to improve their listening skills, build vocabulary, and gain confidence in talking about day-to-day life. Even if you're a bit beyond A1, reviewing the basics can help you reinforce your foundational skills. So, are you ready? Let's get started. Emma's daily routine. I'll begin by describing a typical day in my life. Listen carefully to my words, my pronunciation, and the order of events. Try to imagine each step and see how it might relate to your own daily habits. My morning. I usually wake up at 6:30 a.m. When my alarm rings, I open my eyes and sometimes feel a bit sleepy. I turn off the alarm on my phone and lie in bed for a few minutes to gather my thoughts. I try not to press the snooze button too often, because I don't want to be late. Next, I get up and do a quick stretch. Stretching my arms and legs helps me feel more awake and ready for the day. Then, I head to the bathroom. I wash my face with cold water. It's a great way to wake up my skin, and brush my teeth with a soft toothbrush and minty toothpaste. After that, I take a shower. In the shower, I wash my hair with shampoo and conditioner. The shampoo cleans my hair, and the conditioner makes it soft and smooth. I also use body wash for my skin. When I finish showering, I dry my hair with a towel. Sometimes I use a hairdryer, especially if it's cold and I don't want to walk around with wet hair. Then, I make my way to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. On a typical day, I have toast with butter and jam, or sometimes a bowl of cereal with milk. I also enjoy a cup of coffee or tea. I love coffee for the energy boost, but tea can be more relaxing. After breakfast, I get dressed. I choose my clothes depending on the weather. If it's chilly, I'll wear a sweater, possibly with a coat and a scarf. If it's warm, a simple t-shirt and jeans might be enough. I try to check the weather forecast the night before, so I don't spend too much time deciding in the morning. Then, I check my phone for messages, emails, or social media updates. At around 8 a.m., I leave my house and go to work. Depending on where I live and the conditions outside, I might take the bus, drive, or walk if it's nice out. My work hours are generally from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., so I make sure to leave early enough to arrive on time. My workday. Once I arrive at work, I greet my colleagues, settle at my desk, and plan my tasks for the day. This usually involves checking emails and making a to-do list. Sometimes I have meetings in the morning to discuss current projects or upcoming deadlines. Around 10:30 a.m., I might take a short break to stretch my legs or grab another cup of coffee. I try not to drink too much caffeine, but having a little boost can help me stay focused. At around 12:30 p.m., it's time for lunch. Some days, I bring my lunch from home. It might be leftovers from the previous night's dinner or a quick sandwich. Other days, I might go out to a restaurant or cafe with coworkers. We chat about our families, weekend plans, or interesting news. It's a good way to build relationships and relax before diving back into work. My afternoon. After lunch, I usually have meetings or I work on projects that require concentration. I might write reports, answer client emails, or collaborate with my teammates on shared tasks. If I feel like my energy is dropping, I'll sometimes have a light snack, like a piece of fruit or a small cookie, around 3 p.m. My official workday ends around 5 p.m., but occasionally, I stay later if there's an important deadline or if I want to finish a task before going home. Otherwise, I pack up my things, say goodbye to my coworkers, and head out. My evening. When I get home, it's usually around 6 p.m. I might take a moment to relax, change into more comfortable clothes, and check my personal messages. Sometimes I call a family member or a friend to say hello. Around 7 p.m., I start thinking about dinner. I like to cook simple but tasty meals, maybe pasta, rice with vegetables, or chicken and salad. If I'm feeling creative, I'll try a new recipe from the internet. After dinner, I clean up the kitchen, wash the dishes, and wipe the counters. Then, I might watch TV, play a game, or read a book. Sometimes I work on personal projects, like learning a new skill or studying a foreign language. By 10:30 p.m., I begin my nighttime routine. I brush my teeth again, wash my face, and put on my pajamas. If I have time, I like to do a quick stretch or light yoga to help me relax. I also set my alarm for the next day. Usually, I go to bed at around 11 p.m., aiming for a good 7 to 8 hours of sleep. Weekend and special occasions. While I've covered a typical weekday routine, weekends can be a bit different. On Saturdays, for instance, I might sleep in until 8 a.m. instead of 6:30 a.m. Sometimes I meet friends for brunch or go shopping for groceries. Sundays often involve household chores like laundry, vacuuming, or tidying up my living space. Of course, there's also time to relax, watch a movie, or catch up with family. That's a detailed description of my day. I hope listening to it gives you a clear idea of how native or fluent speakers might talk about their everyday activities. Vocabulary and phrases for daily routines. Now that you've listened to my extended routine, let's review key vocabulary and phrases. These will help you talk about your routine and understand others when they describe their day. Wake up versus get up. Wake up, the moment your eyes open after sleeping. Get up, when you physically leave your bed. Example: I wake up at 6:30 a.m. but get up at 6:45. Brush your teeth/wash your face. Brush your teeth. Clean your teeth using a toothbrush and toothpaste. Wash your face. Use water and maybe soap to clean your face. Example: I brush my teeth twice a day and wash my face with cold water in the morning. Take a shower/have a bath. Take a shower. Clean yourself under running water, usually standing. Have a bath. Sit or lie in a tub filled with water. Example: I always take a shower before work, but on weekends, I might have a bath to relax. Get dressed/put on clothes. Get dressed, the general act of wearing clothes. Put on, a more specific action used for each clothing item. Example: after breakfast, I get dressed. First, I put on socks, then I put on jeans, and finally a t-shirt. Go to work/go to school. Go to work, travel to your workplace if you're employed. Go to school, travel to school if you're a student. Example: I go to work at 8 a.m. My sister goes to school at 7:30 a.m. Have lunch/eat dinner. Have lunch, meal in the middle of the day. Eat dinner, meal in the evening. Example: I have lunch at 12:30 p.m. and eat dinner around 7 p.m. Chores/housework. Chores, simple tasks at home like washing dishes, doing laundry, or vacuuming. Example: on weekends, I catch up on chores like laundry and cleaning. Relax. Relax, spend time resting, reducing stress. Example: I relax by reading a book in the evening or watching a show on TV. Bedtime routine. Bedtime routine, the sequence of things you do before sleeping, e.g., brushing teeth, washing face, setting an alarm. Example: my bedtime routine helps me sleep well every night. These words and phrases are essential for describing a simple day. Practice saying them aloud or writing them down. Make sure you pay attention to pronunciation. You can mimic my voice or any audio resources you find. Comprehension questions. It's time to see how much you've understood from my detailed routine. Here are some questions. Feel free to pause after each one to think about or write down your answer. What time do I usually wake up? Which two things do I always do in the bathroom after I get out of bed? What do I typically eat or drink for breakfast? What time do I leave the house to go to work? How long do I usually work, and what time does my work end? What do I often do after dinner? When do I get ready for bed, and what does that routine include? Take your time and see if you can remember the details from the monologue. If you're not sure about any question, you can rewind and listen again. Extended practice, create your own routine. Now, let's help you describe your daily routine in English. I'll provide some guiding questions and suggestions to expand your answers. If you'd like, pause the audio, think about each question, and jot down notes. Morning habits. What time do you wake up, and what time do you actually get up? What do you do first? For example, do you brush your teeth or check your phone? Do you eat breakfast at home, or do you skip it? What foods do you prefer? Commute. How do you go to work or school? Do you walk, drive, take the bus, or ride a bike? How long does it take to get there? Midday activities. What time do you have lunch? Where do you usually eat? Cafeteria, restaurant, or at home if you work remotely? Do you take any breaks to exercise or chat with friends? Afternoon/evening. What time do you finish work or school? What do you do when you arrive home? Do you relax, work on a hobby, or start cooking dinner immediately? Nighttime routine. How do you spend your evenings, watching TV, gaming, or reading? What time do you go to bed? Do you have any special routines like yoga, meditation, or journaling before sleep? Weekend variations. Is your weekend routine very different from your weekday routine? How so? Do you wake up later on weekends? Do you do any fun activities like going to the park, visiting friends, or attending events? Try to formulate full sentences. For example, on weekdays, I wake up at 7 a.m. However, on weekends, I sleep in until 8:30 a.m. After getting up, I usually make coffee and check my emails before I take a shower. Expanded tips for learning and using daily routine vocabulary. To truly solidify your understanding and remember these new terms. Repetition. Repeat vocabulary words out loud. Use flashcards or a vocabulary app for practice. Quiz yourself regularly to keep the phrases fresh in your mind. Contextual learning. Incorporate these words into real contexts. For instance, if you brush your teeth in the morning, say out loud, "I'm brushing my teeth." If you're commuting, say, "I'm on the bus to work" or "I'm driving to work." Record yourself. Use your phone to record a short audio diary in English each day. Listen to your own recordings and identify areas to improve: pronunciation, word choice, etc. Mix up tenses gradually. Start with present simple, e.g., I eat breakfast at 8 a.m. As you progress, try the past tense or future tense for planning. For example, yesterday, I woke up late, or tomorrow, I will meet my friend for lunch. Write it down. Keep a daily journal in English. Even if it's just a few sentences, writing helps reinforce your learning. Example, today, I woke up at 6:45 a.m. and felt really tired, so I made a strong cup of coffee. Grammar Spotlight. Present simple tense for daily routines. When describing a routine, we often use the present simple tense because we're talking about habits or actions we do regularly. Here are some quick grammar reminders. I, you, we, they use the base form of the verb. Example, I wake up at 7 a.m., they leave at 9 a.m. He, she, it, add s or es at the end of the verb. Example, he wakes up at 6:30 a.m., she brushes her teeth, it takes 30 minutes. Negative form. I do not, don't, wake up early on weekends. He does not, doesn't, like to skip breakfast. Question form. Do you wake up early on weekdays? Does she take a shower in the morning? Keeping these small grammar points in mind can help you form correct sentences when you talk about your daily life. Pronunciation tips. Linking words. When speaking quickly, wake up can sound like wake up. Listen for these connections and practice them. Word stress. In breakfast, the stress is on the first syllable, breakfast. In usually, it's usually. Weekend versus weekday routines. More examples. To give you more listening practice, here are 2 short examples illustrating how someone's weekend routine can differ from the weekday. Example A, Sophia's weekday routine. Sophia works in an office from Monday to Friday. She wakes up at 6 a.m., makes a quick breakfast, usually toast and coffee, and leaves her house by 7 a.m. to catch the train. She arrives at her office around 8:30 a.m. and starts her workday at 9 a.m. During lunch, she often chats with coworkers in the break room. After work, which ends at 5:30 p.m., she goes home, makes dinner, and watches her favorite TV series before heading to bed at around 10 p.m. Example B, Sophia's weekend routine. On Saturdays and Sundays, Sophia enjoys sleeping in until 8 o'clock or 9 a.m. She takes her time making a bigger breakfast with eggs, pancakes, or sometimes fruit smoothies. She might go shopping for groceries around noon. In the afternoon, she attends a yoga class or visits friends. Dinner with family or a movie night is common. On Sunday evenings, she prepares for the upcoming week, ironing clothes or planning her meals. She usually goes to bed by 10:30 or 11 p.m., so she feels refreshed for Monday. Write it down. Keep a daily journal in English. Even if it's just a few sentences, writing helps reinforce your learning. Example: today, I woke up at 6:45 a.m. and felt really tired, so I made a strong cup of coffee. Grammar Spotlight. Present simple tense for daily routines. When describing a routine, we often use the present simple tense because we're talking about habits or actions we do regularly. Here are some quick grammar reminders. I, you, we, they use the base form of the verb. Example: I wake up at 7 a.m., they leave at 9 a.m. He, she, it, add s or es at the end of the verb. Example: he wakes up at 6:30 a.m., she brushes her teeth, it takes 30 minutes. Negative form. I do not, don't, wake up early on weekends. He does not, doesn't, like to skip breakfast. Question form. Do you wake up early on weekdays? Does she take a shower in the morning? Keeping these small grammar points in mind can help you form correct sentences when you talk about your daily life. Weekend versus weekday routines. More examples. To give you more listening practice, here are 2 short examples illustrating how someone's weekend routine can differ from the weekday. Example A, Sophia's weekday routine. Sophia works in an office from Monday to Friday. She wakes up at 6 a.m., makes a quick breakfast, usually toast and coffee, and leaves her house by 7 a.m. to catch the train. She arrives at her office around 8:30 a.m. and starts her workday at 9 a.m. During lunch, she often chats with coworkers in the break room. After work, which ends at 5:30 p.m., she goes home, makes dinner, and watches her favorite TV series before heading to bed at around 10 p.m. Example B, Sophia's weekend routine. On Saturdays and Sundays, Sophia enjoys sleeping in until 8 o'clock or 9 a.m. She takes her time making a bigger breakfast with eggs, pancakes, or sometimes fruit smoothies. She might go shopping for groceries around noon. In the afternoon, she attends a yoga class or visits friends. Dinner with family or a movie night is common. On Sunday evenings, she prepares for the upcoming week, ironing clothes or planning her meals. She usually goes to bed by 10:30 or 11 p.m., so she feels refreshed for Monday. Comparing these 2 routines can help you see how daily life can shift between workdays and weekends. Listening to different examples can also expand your vocabulary. Additional comprehension check. Let's see if you can answer a few more questions based on these new examples. What time does Sophia usually wake up on weekdays? When does she reach her office? What are 2 possible activities she might do on weekends? Does Sophia go to bed later or earlier on weekends compared to weekdays? Try to answer these questions without looking back. If you're unsure, feel free to rewind the audio. Practicing retrieval, i.e., recalling information, is an excellent way to strengthen your listening comprehension. Mini challenge, practice, and self-assessment. I encourage you to complete this mini challenge. Write or record your daily routine in simple English, using the vocabulary we've practiced. Share it with a friend, a teacher, or an online community. If possible, ask for feedback. Listen to your friend or classmate's routine. Try to identify similarities and differences. Reflect on what you find most challenging: pronunciation, vocabulary, grammar, and focus on improving that area. Segment 11. Expanding your vocabulary, optional extras. If you want to push beyond the basics, here are some extra expressions you might find useful. Make the bed, tidy up and arrange your bedding in the morning. Example: I always make the bed after I wake up. Do the laundry, wash your clothes, sheets, etc. Example: on Sunday, I do the laundry and fold the clothes. Take out the trash, remove garbage from your home. Example: I take out the trash every Tuesday night because pickup is on Wednesday. Water the plants, give water to indoor or outdoor plants. Example: I water my plants twice a week to keep them healthy. Feed the pets, give food to your animals. Example: I feed my cat in the morning and in the evening. These tasks might not be done every single day, but they're common parts of many people's weekly routines. Grammar booster, adverbs of frequency. When describing routines, we often use adverbs of frequency like always, 100%, usually, often, sometimes, rarely, never, 0%. Examples: I always wake up at 6 a.m. on weekdays. I usually eat a sandwich for lunch. I often go to bed at 10 p.m. I sometimes skip breakfast if I'm in a rush. I rarely drink coffee at night. I never forget to brush my teeth before bed. Incorporating these can make your routine description more accurate and colorful. Culture notes, routines around the world. Daily routines can vary a lot depending on culture, location, and individual preferences. For instance, in some countries, lunch is the biggest meal of the day, and people might have a siesta, short rest, in the afternoon. In other places, dinner is the main family gathering time, often served later in the evening, around 8 o'clock or 9 p.m. Work schedules vary. Some people do shift work, working nights or weekends, while others have a standard 9-to-5 schedule. It can be fascinating to compare your routine to someone in a different culture. Maybe you can chat with an international friend or watch a video vlog, from another country to see how their day differs from yours. 3. Use tech tools. Try apps for voice recording, vocabulary flashcards, or grammar quizzes to keep track of your progress. 4. Challenge yourself. Gradually introduce more advanced tenses or new verbs. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, they're part of the learning process. Conclusion. We've come a long way in this extended episode, exploring the ins and outs of everyday routines in English. From waking up in the morning to winding down at night, you now have a comprehensive vocabulary set and a good sense of how to describe each step of your day. Key reminder: regular practice is essential. Keep sentences short and clear at the A1 level. Don't worry about perfection. Focus on communication first. Step by step, you'll gain fluency and confidence. I hope you found this lesson both informative and enjoyable. If you have any questions, comments, or ideas for future topics, please let me know. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more English listening practice. And if you want, leave a comment with your own daily routine. It's a great way to use what you've learned and get feedback. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to our next session together. Until then, keep practicing, Keep smiling, and remember, every small step in English is a step forward in your language journey.